Welcome to the Pac-12 on ESPN. Hotty Toddy comes to the Bay. The Ole Miss Rebels, for only the second time in program history, make a trip out west to California to take on the Bears of Cal here in Berkeley. Hi again, everyone. Bob Wischusen here with Brock Ewart. Allison Williams will join us in just a moment. These are the kind of games that we were told the committee, when we went to a playoff system, would want to pay attention to. Now, I know Ole Miss not bowl eligible this season, and maybe Cal will work their way into the conversation at some point. But regardless of the outcome of this particular game, isn't this bigger picture what we need more of in college football?
And if they can do it in college basketball, you call those games, right? The big conference battles. If you can do it in college basketball, I hope we see a whole lot more of this. I hope we never hear and have to read, well, this is the team's first time ever playing a Pac-12 game, or the first time this Pac-12 team's in SEC country. This is what the committee wants. This is what the fans want. I think this is what the programs want as well, to measure yourself up, not on paper, not in the committee room, but to do it on the football field where it's most important.
Well, for the first time in quite a while, we've got some real star power at quarterback as well in the SEC. And Oxford, they've got a good one.
It's what they need. The SEC needs dominant quarterbacks. The last time they were on top and they were right in the center of attention, it was because of all the stars at that position. There's been talent drain, and in steps Shea Patterson. And if you haven't watched him play, and well, maybe you haven't because they haven't played anybody yet this season, the kid is gifted. There have been comparisons to Manziel. But we were watching tape yesterday, and how many times did you say to me, Manziel couldn't make that throw?
No.
Manziel didn't throw with that velocity. Yeah, they share some flair and creativity and all of that, but this kid is really gifted. He leads the country in passing coming into today and touchdowns. Can't wait to watch him against a challenged Cal defense.
Yeah, he has a fastball that Johnny Manziel didn't have, and it will be fun to watch him tonight. Now, Allison Williams, this is the end, kind of the cherry on top, thank goodness, for Ole Miss. They get to play a game for a week that wasn't much fun for their new interim head coach.
Yeah, the game should be the easy part, right, Bob? I mean, it's never easy to travel 2,000 miles through 2 time zones to take on an opponent. But for Ole Miss, it was just one challenge in a season and a week full of them. They began the week with their head coach, Matt Luke, in Kentucky to attend the NCAA's Committee of Infractions hearings regarding the ongoing investigation into the football program. He missed Tuesday's practice. Now, Thursday's practice was moved up so they could leave early to come to California, hoping that the extra day would help guys adjust to the time change. They landed, and players were told, reset your watches, but don't set your alarm clocks. They wanted the guys to really try and sleep in and be rested for this night game. But everyone I've talked to said this team just continues to take things in stride. Their motto has kind of been uniting through difficulties.
Justin Wilcox in his first season as the head coach at Cal. Let's take a look at his plan for success, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. How do you stop Shea Patterson?
You got to change the picture, blur the picture. They love to play in space as Ole Miss. They don't do a lot, just 28 plays. Want to change that picture at the snap. They want to limit the space, and then ultimately, like any elite quarterback, you want to mess with their tempo and their rhythm. The worst thing for Justin Wilcox, and he's played these systems before, is to watch the chains move, to watch a young quarterback get comfortable and confident. He wants to challenge and disrupt the timing of that offensive system.
Redshirt freshman Gabe Chimenez has it on the tee, and we are underway. Jalen Jones deep to receive, and this one will sail about 4, maybe 5 yards deep, so it will come out to the 25-yard line for Ole Miss. And as we take a look at really what is a terrific combination, Shea Patterson, in order to be successful, you need targets. He's got one in A.J. Brown.
He sure does, and it's not hard to see where he's at today. He's going to be in the middle of the slot. Ole Miss runs 2-3 formations. That's it. And I'm serious. They run 28 plays. Michigan, a week ago when we called that game, runs 280 on their call sheet. It is simple. It's out on the playground. Trust your instincts. And Shea and A.J., well, they play within those constraints very well.
They start 2 by 2, and they start with Patterson on a straight drop back. And a slant very close to the first down marker. A gain of 9.5. First play of the game to DeMarcus Lodge. How much tempo will we see from the Rebels tonight?
A lot. I think at every snap. Cal is not deep, especially their big bodies up front, and they want to move in as fast as possible.
How much control does Shea Patterson have of this offense at the line of scrimmage?
All of it, and he's very comfortable within it because it's not complex.
He's under some pressure. He'll heave one down the sideline. Incomplete. Once again looking for Lodge.
And there's a little line gain. First time, very traditional. First snap, just play very base defense. Next snap, run a little game up front. Right, mixing and matching who is rushing number 20 tonight is an enormous part of the game plan for defensive coordinator Tim DeRuyter. He knows this scheme inside and out. Justin Wilcox, equally minded. It's a defensive-minded head coach.
Play clock down to 10. 3rd down and a half yard. High throw, and it's hauled in by Trey Nixon. He climbed the ladder, and that's a big 3rd down conversion across the 50 for Ole Miss.
Did you see how long the young quarterback rode that play fake? Because of it, look at the linebackers, 3 steps up. It creates that space that they covet. And you've got 4 guys that can go up and get it in this receiving core.
That's the first catch for the redshirt freshman, and a big one. Patterson, off play action. He wants a deep ball again. Drops it into Metcalf inside the 5. DK Metcalf, another redshirt freshman, and it's 1st and goal, Ole Miss.
You cannot put that ball in a better spot. And I love the athletic arrogance of Shea yesterday when he said to me, yeah, I can only throw it about 70, but I could throw it 70 on a dot wherever I want to. That was only about 50, but you can't place it any better than that.
42 yards, 1st and goal at the 5. They'll run it for the first time, and barely back to the line of scrimmage is Jordan Wilkins.
And I think my buddy Trent Dilfer, who coached Shea in the Elite 11 program, would put this one right in his Dilfer dimes. When you don't break stride, and I'm telling you, it's not just one receiver. A.J. Brown may lead the country in yards coming into tonight, but A.J., DeMarcus, DK Metcalf, Van Jefferson, you already saw Trey Nixon go up and get it. They are loaded. They've recruited that position especially well.
Plenty of time to look over. 10 on the play clock. 2nd down and goal. Patterson with a little option toss. Jordan Wilkins trying to keep the play alive and just get back what he can. Actually, that's about the hardest working yard that Jordan Wilkins will ever forget. Tony McCary eventually brought him down. 3rd down and goal coming at the 4.
I feel pretty confidently saying this. Both these offenses are going to move the ball 20-20. But the outcome of this game, and I don't know if it'll be at midnight or 11 o'clock, will be defined by scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Five-man rush, slant, end zone, incomplete. Van Jefferson had it go through his hands. So Cal's defense bends, but they do not break. And here comes a terrific kicker, Gary Wunderlich, on to attempt a chip shot field goal.
And that was a terrific throw. That's the kind of velocity we were just talking about in the opening of the show. That is as tight a window as you're going to throw into. Things compressed down in the red zone. That one is on a receiver for a rare drop because another seed thrown by Shea Patterson.
21 yards away for Gary Wunderlich to try and get Ole Miss on the board. And he's got it. So Ole Miss fails to convert on a goal-to-go situation. Red zone stop for Cal, and the Rebels have the 3-0 lead. A field goal breaks the ice for Ole Miss. Cal about to get the football for the first time. Bob Wischusen here with Brock Ewart, Allison Williams in Berkeley. Pac-12 after dark as Ole Miss comes west to take on the Bears. Luke Logan muscles it about 2 yards deep. Ashton Davis brings it out. Gets dragged down at about the 16-yard line. So field position working against Cal, and that's not the only thing, Brock, working against Cal. They are without arguably their 2 best home run hitters on offense.
Certainly the most dynamic receiver they've got. Demetrius Robertson, you see him 8, a soft tissue injury. He is out tonight, and that was a big X factor for Ole Miss defensively, a matchup that they wanted to make sure they won, and that's Trey Watson. Got injured, unfortunately, a week ago. He is their only 3-down running backs. You can see a lot of parts at running back and a whole bunch of different receivers, but 2 of the more dynamic players out for Cal.
Swing pass to the former walk-on Patrick Laird. Makes a move in the open field, picks up a couple of yards out close to the 20-yard line. So the challenge for Ross Bowers tonight, move the football without his two best weapons. Watson gone for the year, Robertson out tonight, but he's been fun to watch.
He's a tough kid. He's taken a whole bunch of shots here early, and he stands in there and delivers. Coach's son on both fronts of mom and dad.
And weaving his way through traffic, trying to muscle his way out close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards shy of the first down is Laird.
And this is not your fun and gun system with Sonny Dykes. They're going to spread it. Bo Baldwin came from Eastern Washington, head coach, prolific there at Eastern. I thought a tremendous hire for Justin Wilcox. And you're going to see a mix of tempo. You're going to see more commitment to the run game. There's a good shot at Bo Baldwin. An extensive play sheet. Nice to have a coach's son under center that can handle all of it.
Slant looking for a first down, broken up. Intended for Jordan Veazey. But 15 breaks up 15. Miles Hartsfield got a hand in and knocked it away, and it's a 3 and out for Cal to start.
Boy, and you just can't play it better than that. That is teaching tape for all those corners out there in college football. That's a slant route. That's a good call. The receiver Veazey does a nice job positioning, but Hartsfield doesn't panic. He doesn't go through the wide receiver, pokes his hand in with perfect timing to force the 3 and out.
Miles Hartsfield was the only true freshman that started all 12 games last year for Ole Miss. And Dylan Klump with a wobbly kick that takes a great Cal bounce and somehow stays in bounds, hugs the sideline and gets close to the 25-yard line. 4-man rush. Here comes a blitz off the edge. A dump off to Jordan Wilkins. He's going backwards. Tackle for loss for Cal, and a big loss at that. Back to about the 20-yard line. That's a loss of 8 on first down.
That is a 4-man rush, and you're going to take a look at this all night. Teach a little football. That's a 4-man rush with a safety coming. And changing that 4-man rush, something that Shea has not seen through the first 2 weeks of this season. South Alabama, UT Martin, by no means anywhere near as exotic, as well coached, and as disciplined as this Cal defense.
Another 4-man rush with a linebacker blitz. Long throw back to about the original line of scrimmage, so it will be 3rd down and 10 as Van Jefferson makes the catch. And when you say blur the picture for Shea Patterson, that's it, right? Bring 4, but make it look to the quarterback like it's more than 4, or that it's coming from different places.
Or in that case, 5, or yes, a total mix.
Only a 3-man rush this time. Into traffic, and interception, picked off, Jalen Hawkins. He's got some blockers down the sideline, and he's out of bounds at the 20. That was a tight window that Shea Patterson tried to squeeze one into.
Oh, here you go, my coach's clicker. There's that seam route. You just saw it. Now, here's the deal. If it's green and you see green grass, Shea Patterson is taught to throw it. There is nothing in that window. If it is clear, it is screaming, you throw it. If it's not, you got to come out here or scramble and run. That is a force, a rare force from Shea.
Laird into the red zone. A gain of a couple.
If it's screaming, throw it. Phil Longo, offensive coordinator, I love it. If it is screaming, man, and it's wide open to you, just throw it. But if it's not, find more green grass and then trust your instincts. Shea has done that through the first 2 weeks. As good as anybody in college football, did so on that opening drive, but there is some of the confusion that those different fronts and coverages can create for a young quarterback. And now Cal has to capitalize on a very rare turnover from the Rebels.
Bowers over the middle, and that is caught about 2 yards shy of the first down by the true freshman tight end Gavin Reinwald. So here's a big play. 3rd down and 2 inside the 15-yard line. A chance for Ole Miss after giving the football up to get a stop and force only a field goal.
And my favorite player yet I've watched on tape. That big boy right there, 99. That is my guy, Malik McMorris. 5'10", 300-pound difference maker.
The knuckleball. Now they're going to throw a little knuckleball here. They run the option. Patrick Laird at the goal line. Is he in? He's going to be reading a book. That's a touchdown for Cal. former walk-on, just received a scholarship before the start of 2017. And his touchdown celebration, you'll see him if he gets in the end zone again. Makes a motion as if he's reading a book. Well, he's read about 100 books in the last 365 days, according to Bo Baldwin, the offensive coordinator. And his reward to himself, every time he scores a touchdown, he reads a new book.
So many things to say.
The exact opposite of what I would be doing if I ever scored a touchdown, would be assigning myself homework. But that's Patrick Laird's passion. At about 9 o'clock at night, he wants the lights turned off. He's got books to read. Well, to say that Ole Miss got an Ole Miss man to take over as head coach would be an understatement. Matt Luke said he has been preparing for this dream job his entire life. You saw a picture of him as an Ole Miss center, 95 through 98. There is his dad, Tommy, who played in the secondary back in the 60s. His brother Tom, who's now an assistant athletic director for player development and hovers right behind his younger brother. He was a quarterback in the late 80s and early 90s. And they keep it going with his nephew, who plays wide receiver as well. So,
yeah, the Lukes may win the battle of dream job. Right, Ed Orgeron down there at LSU says he's got his dream job, and there's others coaching their alma mater, but generationally, not many can compete with that. And as far as a Southern gentleman to meet with yesterday, it just epitomizes, I think, so much of that Ole Miss culture and brands. He is right there on that as well.
A bouncing kick down inside the 5-yard line to Jones. He's got a lane. Good return out to the 34-yard line. Play action. From a clean pocket, he delivers a strike. In stride. Breaking free. DeMarcus Lodge. To the house. That's an Ole Miss touchdown. Amnesia for Shea Patterson. Tried to squeeze one into a far too tight window that results in a Cal score. How about the response?
Yeah, velo, man. That's all they're talking about in baseball. Velo. I want 98. I want a guy that can throw it hard, because there's huge advantages. When you've got velo, you can put on that title belt. You can hit guys in stride, and you're a step ahead of the defense. It's anticipation, that's velocity, and that is, as you said, Bob, responding to a little early adversity with a strike.
Shea Patterson came into today tied with Josh Rosen for #1 in touchdowns thrown so far this season. This is his 10th and the 4th time this season he has found the speedster, DeMarcus Lodge. Last week in the win over UT Martin, DeMarcus Lodge had a career-high 133 yards and a touchdown. Well, he's got the belt because he just put 72 and a score on the board, the longest play allowed by the Cal defense this season. DeMarcus Lodge already with 81 yards total on 2 catches and a touchdown. Returnable from the 6 for Ashton Davis. Gets to the 21-yard line. And speaking of a bigger concept, that's what's in the game now for Cal. And there is that bigger concept. Play action. Bowers over the middle. In stride. It's Noah. First down and then some. Out to the 45-yard line. 17 more. Cal goes quick before Ole Miss can get set up. Wide receiver hitch to Vic Wharton, and he weaves his way for 6 yards. There's some frustration on the part of a couple of those Ole Miss defenders that they're not set at the snap as Cal goes with tempo again.
Same formation, get up and go.
Ole Miss trying to communicate, and wary. 2 yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 1.5 yards.
And the previous 3rd yard and a half was a blitz look from Ole Miss that Ross Bowers and Cal diagnosed. Got to the option play. Bo Baldwin there with the play sheet is expecting pressure. That's exactly what Ole Miss said they were going to do. There's an expectation of what is to come here. So how can you get to your best blitz beaters? How can you take advantage of the matchups that you want?
Play clock at 11 as Ross Bowers gets his team set for 3rd down and a short 2. Here comes the blitz. Bowers slides one through to the tight end Gavin Reinwald, and the true freshman has a first down reception with a half minute to go in the first quarter.
Where the Ole Miss receiver could not use his big frame to shield out that defender. That's exactly what Reinwold does there. Not a target used very often, just his third reception of the season. They like to distribute and get everybody involved, and that was the one-on-one they wanted. They got the pressure, they got the blitz, just as all the tendencies have shown, all the preparation this week. Here comes the pressure, here comes the one-on-one, and there's the reception through contact.
And that takes us down to the end of what was a pretty exciting first quarter. Ole Miss with the field goal lead as we head to the second. A first down though for Cal. They are driving. 1 quarter in the books here in Berkeley. Welcome back to college football presented by Geico. Just about set for the start of the second quarter. Ole Miss by 3 in their second ever trip to California, and the first time they've ever taken on Cal or any Pac-12 team for that matter. Vic Enwary runs through arm tackles down the sideline. 17 and a first down to the 25.
And those numbers you saw pre-snap, those are the notes that Justin Wilcox writes on the sidelines. Those are the critical components. A guy that's been in a lot of different spots as a coordinator. Explosive plays, the penalties, where you are starting your drive, all those hidden yards through all of his years and stops for Justin Wilcox that he's learned that are most valuable that he studies on that sideline.
And they're winning the field position battle to this point because of those 2 turnovers. And Wary looking for room, ducks under a tackler. Looks like he lost about a half yard. Victor Evans finished him off.
Those are going to be some hard yards inside there. Coatney we saw with him play earlier. You got 3 D tackles for Ole Miss that are legit SEC D tackles that you're used to seeing. There you see Coatney, he's 310 pounds, perfectly built, proportion. 95 Jones was the top D tackle recruit 2 years ago. Breland Speaks number 9, they rotate in. It is hard yards between the guards against those guys.
Play action for Ross Bowers. Long throw to the sideline. Incomplete. Vic Wharton couldn't haul it in. That'll be 3rd down and 10.
And that was a dime. That is the only spot that you could put it into Vic Wharton's hands and giving him the opportunity. That's the transfer from Tennessee. He's going to be the shot guy with Robertson out tonight in a one-on-one situation. Good coverage there from Hamilton, but a better throw from Ross. That should have been a big play inside the 5.
3rd down and 10. Ole Miss shows blitz. Rolling the pocket. A throwback screen. Read perfectly. Gavin Reinwald going nowhere, and the Land Sharks end up making a play. Miles Hartsfield stayed home.
And that is all Hartsfield there. Once again, that's the call you want to get to in 3rd and medium. You're expecting pressure. And Ole Miss has been susceptible at times this year in the discipline within their coverage and their fundamentals. But Hartsfield, who played a lot of safety last year, wasn't fooled a bit.
Matt Anderson from 46 to try and tie it up. No good. So Ole Miss not only takes over, but takes over with excellent field position at their own 36-yard line.
Don't see that much, and I love the encouragement there from the redshirt sophomore Bowers.
Play action for Patterson. Steps up in the pocket. Long throw up the seam on a dime. DK Metcalf. Touchdown.
Maybe this kid was right. 70 yards and under, I'll put it right where I want to. And Justin Wilcox is looking again at that sheet going, man alive. If there's one I could eliminate, it's these explosive plays, but I can't do anything about it. The team's speed for Ole Miss, 4 deep at that receiving crew, is just running by my corners and safeties.
That was a shank on the point after attempt, and it looks like Gary Wunderlich is hurt. A Lou Groza watch list kicker. That'd be a big loss for Ole Miss as they can't convert on the point after. But they've got 6 on the board, courtesy of Shea Patterson to DK Metcalf. 16-7. Ole Miss has the lead. 2 70-plus yard touchdown passes for Shea Patterson. He also has 2 interceptions. So it's been feast or famine for the Ole Miss offense, but with Gary Wunderlich missing the extra point and injured, Luke Logan with a very short kick. Ashton Davis drags tacklers out to about the 29-yard line. Let's go. Long throw on time. Vic Wharton. Looks like he's got a first down.
That throw was made well before Vic ever even thought about coming out of his break. And that's what you got to do. So 2 things that you've got to do when a team is faster. You got to run it, set up your play pass. That's where your shots are going to come from, and anticipate.
A little wide receiver screen to Wharton. He hurdles over the tackler for a gain of 7.
He's a drama major. Pretty good acting job as he tried to try the 15 on the sideline. He's also a dad. And expecting another one is Vic, the Tennessee transfer that will be the leading possession receiver for the Golden Bears this season.
He's a 22-year-old redshirt junior, already has a son, and his fiance is expecting a daughter. Laird, little misdirection. And looks like he may have dragged a tackler just far enough to get to the first down at midfield. Victor Evans pulled him down. And let's see if they will maybe measure to see if Wharton, or rather Laird, picked up the first down, and now they are going to say without measurement that he picked it up.
And that does not look like much, but I am telling you, that is how you then impact and create your play action shots. You can move the chains, and it's 3 yards here, it's 2, it's 5. Then you all of a sudden get those safeties a little itchy and those linebackers moving.
Blitz again. There's the slant in stride. First down and then some. All the way down to the 24-yard line goes Brandon Singleton. Working on Hartsfield.
So here's your motion, clears out the space. If you want to play a space game and get into the open field and green grass, we can do the same, says Cal. Nifty little move there in the formation.
Play action again for Bowers. Down the sideline looking for the end zone. And laying out was Vic Wharton.
Yeah, you said to me during break, and I think rightfully so, Bob. You said Ole Miss got 3 guys that can run by. Anybody in that Cal secondary. Bo Baldwin, without Demetrius Robinson, he's trying. That's a couple shots now to Vic Wharton down the field. Just do not yet have that kind of difference maker in the wide receiver core. You got tough kids, man. You got gutsy kids, and we've seen Noah go over the middle of the field, and they will do everything that's asked. It's one thing that Justin said, Wilcox, about this crew that he inherited. They are try-hard guys.
Laird has a lane to the 18. Tripping Dukes made the tackle.
This is the, here you go. Here's going to be a wonderful chess match to watch unfold, because this down and distance has been blitz every time out. 3rd and 5. Blitz, blitz, blitz. So what can you do? What play can you get to? Can you quick snap and try to get a look and get exactly the kind of blitz that you want to go after and attack?
Ole Miss not showing blitz. They're going to bring pressure on 3rd and 4. They'll just rush 4. So Bowers lobs one. No one home in the end zone. Now it's 4th and 4 inside the 20-yard line. Gavin Reinwald, I guess, was the intended receiver. And are we going to see the kicking group come out on the field? Offense seems like they're staying on the field. Ross Bowers is looking over.
An excellent kicker, 42 of 51 in his career. Make this a 1-score game. Pay off a drive, because you've not had very efficient drives here for a quarter and a half.
Matt Anderson was a semi-finalist for the Groza Award last season, and he knocks it through from 35 here. And it is now again a 1-score game. There is a flag down on the play. Let's see what the call is.
Personal foul, leaping on the defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Well, there's a way to steal a possession. And that's the force and effect of a turnover. As now, instead of Cal knocking a field goal through, they'll have a first down in the red zone. What do you think, Brock?
Point of emphasis, protect the kids. They don't want them leaping over the line of scrimmage. Is he leaping over the line of scrimmage, or did he just go vertically straight up and down?
It did not appear as if he was leaping over the line of scrimmage, but that was DeMarcus Gates that they got. So now it's a first down inside the 10-yard line. Vic and Wary gets down to the 7, a gain of a couple. It'll be second down and goal. I have a feeling there's some fans back in Oxford that are looking at each other with the same puzzled look that we just had on our faces. Did you see a leaping penalty there?
I saw a player jump up, which he has every right to do. Not use another player, not jump over the line of scrimmage, not do any of that. But an umpire that had his eyes on it the entire time and was confident in his call. A lot more confident than any of us are watching that.
Play action for Bowers and a rollout. Fires one to the goal line and it's intercepted. C.J. Moore runs it back out to about the 15. So Cal takes 3 off the board, and then they commit their first turnover as Ross Bowers is picked at the goal line.
All 3 interceptions have been of the same variety for Ross, and I know Justin Wilcox saying, darn it, it's the right call to take the points off the board. But all 3 for Ross, and here's some of his inexperience. First-year starter, there is nothing here. There is nothing behind it. There's nothing in front of it.
Cal will receive the third quarter kickoff, but they trail 16-7 at halftime. Time for the halftime report. Back to the studio. Just about set for the start of the third quarter here by the Bay. Ole Miss on the road. First time they played a Pac-12 team, and they're handling the road trip quite well. The Rebels have a 16-7 lead over Cal. Cal, though, set to start the third quarter with the football, looking for some answers on offense. Pavel Schusen here with Brock Ewart. Allison Williams down on the field, and Brock had a chance to do something pretty cool at halftime. We're going to show you that in a moment. Ashton Davis from the goal line. Out to the 25. And gets stood up at about the 28-yard line. So just as we went to the halftime break, Brock Ewart, he went down to that Cal locker room. And he was behind closed doors with the Cal coaching staff, then hustled all the way back up to the booth here. A, pretty cool to be in that locker room. And B, what'd you find out?
That brought me back. That brought me back to a lot of years in locker rooms. That was calm, as I expected it to be. All the position coaches with their individual groups. Bo Baldwin, offensive coordinator, now with the quarterbacks. He was with his running backs, and a pretty constant message of stick to it. We're going to wear these guys down, going to force them into more mistakes. They already got 2 picks, and they have been there before. Right? They were there week 1. They overcame adversity against North Carolina, and they're going to stick to this run game.
Laird picks up a first down.
And I'll tell you what really stood out was that kid right there. Former walk-on, the well-read guy. He was the one talking to Bo Baldwin. Hey, we can do this. I'm feeling the safety. You know, it just so stands out when you get smart players. And they got a bunch of them here at Cal that aren't just like, well, what are we going to run next? No, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm reacting to. And this is what we can get to win.
Bowers to the sideline. And the catch is made just shy of midfield by Brandon Singleton. So
they don't have a lot of experiences together, just a couple games under their belts, but they do have one where they overcame adversity in North Carolina, and that was probably the last most consistent message felt in that locker room.
This time Laird caught behind the line. And that's the second time we have seen Marquise Haynes make a tackle for loss tonight. He came into tonight with only 1/2 of a tackle for loss through the first 2 games for Ole Miss. Now he's got 2 in this game.
That was on my guy 99 too, Malik McMorris. Bo Baldwin said nobody has gotten by, nobody has beat this season through spring ball in the first 2 weeks. And the quickness there, getting by the 300-pound little fullback, and the tackle for loss. Ole Miss played fast, played a little reckless offensively, a couple critical turnovers, but that was, I bet, in their locker room a consistent theme.
They rush 5, right at the first down marker, reaching for a first down is Quinavai Noah. That's a big third down conversion. If you're Cal and you want a tone setter to start off the third quarter, try to get a score, make it a 1-score game and get back in the game, you need a third down conversion there. They got it, and now an easy pitch and catch is missed by Ross Bowers. He had Noah wide open.
Yeah, that third down, that could be a little adjustment to watch here in the second half, right? We've seen so much pressure on third down side again. So what do? Get to empty. If you can't take shots and get those chunk plays, Then Bo Baldwin says, get into empty, simplify those blitzes a little bit, make it a little bit easier on the quarterback, who had some good, bad, and ugly in that first half.
Keeper, Bowers, great fake, slides safely for a gain of 9 to the 40.
I saw my old quarterback buddy Marcus Tuiasosopo, who coaches Ross, and I told him, hey, there before halftime, some opportunity to run in that second half, and he was on it before I could even finish it.
Laird met behind the line. The blitz came, and there were not enough Bears to block for Patrick Laird as Victor Evans tackles him for a loss of about 2.5, maybe 3. So now it's 3rd down, or check that, 4th down, and about 3.5.
Be a little empty, a little freeze play. Here's your quads, your 4 guys to the top of the field. Try to get to the matchup you want.
They're going to try and keep the drive alive and go for it on 4th down. A rollout for Bowers. He's got Noah. 1st and 10 Bears at the Ole Miss 36.
It's the first time we have seen that formation. You don't see it a lot in college football. 4 men to the field. It helps you spread the 160 feet sideline to sideline, and a certain adjustment at halftime is get Noah the ball, your best possession receiver involved.
Play action. Bowers looking downfield, pump fake, and he will throw that one away. He had Vic Wharton down the sideline on a double move that Ole Miss did not bite on, with Dietrich Bing-Dukes bringing pressure, but good discipline from C.J. Moore, the safety. He stayed where he was supposed to stay.
That's exactly right.
Down at about the 10-yard line. Tunnel screen. Vic Wharton. Blockers to the 22.
It's more success out of empty. More confusion there from Ole Miss. You get into empty. That's one of those halftime adjustments to try to simplify the picture a little bit. Slow down a defense that was just on their toes downhill in that first half.
Reaching back to try to make the catch was Jordan Duncan and couldn't haul it in.
That's just the consistency for Ross. Ross saying, hey, I'm trying to slow you down with that throw a little bit. Yeah, they've trailed in both games. A bit of adversity they've overcome before. And those are the little details for Ross, making just his 3rd start. It's not just the 3rd down conversions and those plays you need to make. Simple pitch and catch on the earlier downs makes that down and distance much easier.
Laird inside the 20-yard line to the 19, where it will be 3rd down and 7. Well, not only did they trail North Carolina and Weber State at halftime in both games, they trailed by 3 in the 4th quarter of both of those games. So if Cal can get this to a 1-score game, that's right in their wheelhouse so far this season. But another big play here, 3rd down and 7.
Feels like these running backs got to get involved. As tight as that coverage has been, is there an opportunity to get these running backs involved?
That's unwary on a sprint down. All-out blitz coming from Ole Miss. Wharton in the end zone, runs under it for the Cal touchdown. Bowers beat the blitz. And did he take a shot?
Did he ever? We call that a casino blitz, man. That defense, and Wesley McGriff on the other side is rolling the dice. It is all out pressure. There is no safety deep. In fact, there is a bust by Ole Miss, and not only bust the jaw there of Ross Bowers with a tremendous hit, there was nobody covering the back out of the backfield, and obviously no safety help for Vic Wharton. A chunk play going the other way this time in the column of the Golden Bears. And we saw Ross how many times take those shots against North Carolina and stand in and stand in and stand in and deliver. That's big time coming out of the second half gates.
Anderson makes it a 2-point game. 11:16 to go in the 3rd. Cal with a touchdown to start off the 3rd quarter. Ross Bowers took a shot, but Vic Wharton on the receiving end. Ross Bowers has a cut underneath his chin. The reason why? He got hit by Dante Evans on that all-out blitz, and Brock, this should have been targeting.
Absolutely. Crown of the helmet. Crown
Right
of the helmet.
under the chin. And Justin Wilcox was trying to make that exact case to the officials.
Read the lips. That's targeting.
And He was right. Dante Evans is lucky to still be in the game. And Ross Bowers is lucky to still have all his teeth. Jalen Jones from the goal line. Tripped over his own man to the 28-yard line. Allison.
Well, guys, a couple injury updates first for Ole Miss. Their leading receiver, A.J. Brown, will not return to the game, nor will their kicker, Gary Wunderlich. So a couple of things to keep an eye on here in a close game in the second half. As for my conversation with Ole Miss head coach Matt Luke, he felt like offensively they need to do a better job of staying on schedule. Some penalties hurt them on first down. Now, I know he's probably not too thrilled with his defense at this exact moment, but he felt like they played really well in that first half, did a good job of forcing Cal into some 3rd and longs and earning the right to rush the passer, which is something they talked about coming into this game.
A quick hitter is there for DK Metcalf. That's
if I've said it once, it's 100 times. There's no substitute for experience.
so for Cal, you want to rush 4, but make it look like more.
Yes.
And when you're doing that, so you're now Shea Patterson, are you seeing any tell in that Cal defense as to where that extra guy might be coming from, who might be dropping, what for you're eventually going to see coming after you?
Hard to do that. Hard to do that. Eli and Peyton would love to do that and have a system where they can check it all. This is a system that is just react and go.
This time a 5-man rush is countered by a run to the near side to Jordan Wilkins, and he's brought down just shy of the 40-yard line.
It was kind of cool talking to Phil Longo down on the sidelines. Came from Sam Houston State, prolific offensively. And he just said, yeah, we're not into all those checks and all of that. I want instinct, progress. And that conversation he had with Shea after that last incompletion, get to the next guy. If it is not there and clean, trust yourself, trust your gun of an arm and the instincts to create.
They're going to try and set up 3rd down and manageable, and they will just about do it with Wilkins going up the middle. But Brock, that is 12 penalties now against Ole Miss, and 5 of the 12 false starts.
Self-inflicted pre-snap. You go on the road against a quality opponent, just come back to bite you.
3rd down and 15. 4-man rush for Cal. Check that 3-man rush. They drop a man off the line. Tipped ball. Dangerous. Van Jefferson had it go through his hands. So once again, it will be Will Gleason to punt.
How about this Cal defense? I watched him in this window last year. Bob, like a lot of these fun and gun systems, right, that a year ago in the Big 12 or here at Cal or at Oregon wouldn't play defense, couldn't tackle. I mean, this was as porous a group defensively in their effort, in their pursuit, in their tackling. And they're on point tonight, slowing down one of the most prolific offenses the first 2 weeks in college football.
Fair catch called for and made by Wharton at his own 28. He's trying to pursue down the line after Patrick Laird. Laird gets free. He's into the secondary with a 1st down. And boy, had his knee bent back. Boy, look at him jump right up. The crowd groaned as if they thought that Laird was injured on that play, and he jumps right back into the offensive backfield. Boy, to have the flexibility of a 20-year-old. There he goes again. And this time swapped under at the 40-yard line for a loss of a 1.5 yards. Ouch. Although he wasn't hurt, he popped right up.
Amazing. Tough, self-made, former walk-on. Has earned everything here and is going to have ample opportunity this season with the injury to Watson. And here's that empty look again. Slow down that rush, simplify the coverage, play pitch and catch.
There's the pitch and catch. Noah breaks a tackle. Nearly broke a tackle. He comes up 5 yards short of the 1st down. C.J. Moore held on for dear life.
And here comes what's been 80% pressure on 3rd down. What cut the chin earlier on the touchdown pass, what's battered him throughout this game. It has been blitz, blitz, blitz. A little more difficult to do when you spread and you empty the backfield. Ole Miss showing that typically means they're bailing.
They rush 4. Quick hitter. Laird breaks a tackle. Inside the 35. He had no scholarship offers out of high school. He became a preferred invited walk-on at Cal and was just put on scholarship as a redshirt junior to start this season. And he's the workhorse to the 30-yard line for 2.5.
We are almost 2-to-1 number of plays. Almost 2-to-1. Ole Miss has hit a couple big plays, huge explosive plays for touchdowns, but look at hands on hips. You're nearing 70 plays now for Cal, and we're not even into the fourth quarter yet. Look at that. That was why there was a sentiment that you could wear them down if you could continue to possess the ball.
Now it's Vic and Wary. Flag down. He's close to a first down if the play stands. Have to check the marker.
That may be against Ole Miss.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense in the 97. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Yeah, it wasn't number 97. It's Breland right there. I mean, take a look at that. That's frustration. That's being on the field an awful lot. And these catastrophic penalties now. Not only the pre-snap variety, chop blocks, personal fouls, hands to the face, 15 here, all those hidden yards. That you may be faster in spots, in a lot of spots, but if you make those mistakes out on the road, it is hard to play winning football.
And Wary to the 5. Down to about the 3.5-yard line before he's brought down by Kadir Shepard.
Comes the tempo.
They'll mark him down at the 4. Cal can get a first down inside the 1. And Wary to about the 2-yard line, and this brings up an enormous play. 3rd down and 1 near the 2-yard line with under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Can Ole Miss get a red zone stop and force a field goal?
That was such a good play by Josiah Coatney. Third leading tackler on this defense is a defensive tackle, number 40 right there. Most pleasant surprise in the early part of this season, and he and his buddies next to him up front, 95 Benito Jones, can they get off their blocks and stop that run?
And Wary into the heart of the Ole Miss defense, and it looks like they have him stopped. Now what do you do if you're Justin Wilcox? 4th down and less than a yard to go.
Kick it.
If you kick the field goal, you take the lead.
You take the lead. Why would you give an opponent any momentum in a game here? You came out and responded in the second half. How do we handle adversity? Well, you handle it by going down the field and scoring a touchdown, and you handle it here by taking the lead.
Although that Ole Miss defense comes back to the sideline feeling pretty good about themselves, in spite of the fact they, by virtue of penalty and a few give-up plays, Cal got inside the 5-yard line, but they manage only 3 on the chip shot field goal. So both teams, in a sense, come off the field to their respective sidelines, feeling good about what just happened.
What's been a very evenly played, well-played, hard-played game here. Late in Berkeley.
Jones bobbles it, picks it up, and now gets stood up at the 17. Wilkins again. This is a young man that missed all of last season, an academic credits snafu that left him ineligible. There was a time he was wondering if his Ole Miss career was in jeopardy, and now he is back this season after a 400-yard season or so as a sophomore back in 2015. Play action. Shea Patterson wide open as Wilkins, one-handed catch. What should have been an easy pitch and catch. Shea Patterson to Jordan Wilkins became an adventure, and Wilkins hauled it in for a first down.
So a little adversity comes, and it's not necessarily the sophomore quarterback, but it's the senior running back who responds with the 3rd-1 conversion and a tremendous one-handed catch in space.
Across the 50-yard line. And that catch is made by Jefferson.
But nothing's easy, right? That first half, almost 300 yards passing, all this green grass. Here's a bomb, there's a bomb. Everywhere is a shot down the field, and you felt here on these last 4 or 5 possessions, you got to go out and earn it. Got to go out and just take what be willing to take what the defense is willing to give you.
Quarterback draw. Patterson with a pump fake. Cut down. Gained a half yard. On what might be the final play of the third quarter, it is a big third down that will open up the fourth quarter if Ole Miss does not opt to snap the ball, and they will not.
What a great game, huh? What a great game. What a great test of X's and O's. But more importantly, what a tremendous test of guts. 2 first-time head coaches, one in interim, one building this program. And they're going to learn an awful lot about their kids in the next 15 minutes.
3rd down and 5 for Ole Miss to start off the fourth quarter. They had been successful on 3rd and short. They have not been successful once it gets to 3rd and 4+. 0-for-7. Bob Shoes and Brock Ewart. Allison Williams here in Berkeley. Big 3rd down to begin the fourth quarter in a 1-point game. Blitz coming. Patterson beats it on time. Markel Pack, his first catch, and it's a big one. To the 37-yard line of Cal.
I'm trying to remember, Wischusen, which quarterback did we just enjoy watching throw as much as we have enjoyed this kid on tape and tonight?
Play action here. Extending the play is Shea Patterson. Throws it away. Now, you were the first that I can remember last season, after we had looked at some tape and we watched Texas Tech.
Mahomes.
And you said, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
No one's talking about this kid. You watch what happens as the offseason goes through, the combine and the athletic testing, and the film gets watched. What happens? And all of a sudden the Chiefs are trading up for him in the first round. Now, Patterson's only a sophomore, so he has more college football to play. Do you see an NFL future for Shea Patterson?
That is the, thank you for reminding me. That is the comparison when it just comes to the ability to throw the ball.
And here he goes again. Buying more time. Checks it down. Well done by the Cal defense. Jordan Wilkins, he's got nowhere to go. Pursuit from Raymond Davison.
I'll tell you one thing that's really cool too, Bob, is defensively, as much as Shea's going to scramble, they call it plaster. Finding a way to plaster, right? And when he breaks contain or get on a guy, find your guy, stay on your guy. Everybody is in coverage here. Everybody is plastered up. So well done defensively.
Now what does Ole Miss call, and maybe how much real estate can they buy a redshirt freshman kicker on 3rd and 15, or do they take a shot down the field? Under pressure is Patterson. Throws it away. He was outside the pocket. Did he get the ball back to the line of scrimmage? The officials right now are having a conference to see if this may be intentional grounding. And if it is,
intentional grounding, the pass was out of bounds, touched the coach and prevented him from crossing the expanded neutral zone. 4th down.
Well, there it is. It touched a coach, and they are going to say that that pass would have gotten where it needed to go to avoid intentional grounding. So now here comes Luke Logan to try and give Ole Miss the lead. A redshirt freshman. This is his first career attempt.
From 48, no problem.
He did make kicks of 54 and 56 yards as a senior in high school. So he's got the leg to do it. Not this time.
Yeah. Wonderlicks was your shanked 8-iron. What was that?
That was a Hazel Rocket 5-iron.
Oh, I love that, though. Look at that. Look at the teammates there for him. That's great stuff.
Well, they need to encourage him because there's a very good chance he'll be in that position again before the end of the game.
That's right.
On the right in the black warm-up jacket is the senior place kicker, Gary Wunderlich, who spent quality time with the redshirt freshman Luke Logan over on the sideline after that missed field goal from 48 yards out. Here's Patrick Laird hurdling for a gain of 6 to start this drive for Cal.
And you make a good point. You're going to need the young kicker. Wunderlich somehow pulls his hamstring on his plant leg in the first quarter on a missed PAT. Logan, 48-yarder, your first opportunity in college. You knew his heart was racing. A lot of encouragement all the way around.
Laird, student body right, broken up behind the line. DeMarcus Gates came through and made a terrific play, a loss of a couple, and now a chance for Ole Miss to get off the field on third down. Third and about 6.
Not only had to hurdle the offensive center Ohms there to get out of the way of the lead block to find enough strength and power to bring down a hard-running Laird. Every one of these is going to be so crucial in this fourth quarter. This game, said it beforehand, the team that wins third down and red zone touchdowns is going to win it.
Bob Wischusen, Brock Ewert, Allison Williams, third down and 6 after the timeout. Bowers under pressure, extends the play. He's going to try and run for it. He leaps to the 40-yard line, but he's short. He's sold out to try and get the first down. And he was stopped by a couple of Rebels led by Breland Speaks.
His quarterback coach loves this. This is Marcus Tuiasosopo. In his heyday at Washington, leading the Huskies to a Rose Bowl, you do whatever it takes, man. You go compete, you sacrifice. Mom may like this as well, the former gymnastics coach. Just short.
And Ole Miss had to hustle to get players off the field and avoid 12 men on the field, and now flags everywhere downfield before the play. And maybe this is 12 men on the field for Ole Miss.
Defense, 12 players in formation. The 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
Can't happen. That is a turnover. There is the extra possession that Justin Wilcox was hoping would be gifted to his Cal Bears. You can see 11 players, if you count them up, for Ole Miss in your picture. They also had a return man downfield. And that doesn't include 2 players that were sprinting off the field. 12 men on the field. And a free first down for Cal at their own 45-yard line. 14 Ole Miss penalties, matches their total for the first 2 games. Laird. Thrown back after a gain of 2.5.
Well, I'll say this for Matt Luke. This is his job interview. This is the best resume over the next 10 games he's going to put together. And on the positive side tonight, his kids have played relentlessly. I mean, they have played so hard for him. But the discipline and the attention to detail, especially pre-snap, is going to gnaw at him.
Dropped on the tunnel screen. That seemed to be set up for Vic Wharton. That's a break for Ole Miss. It'll be third down and 7. Well, when your head coach has to resign in disgrace, you want a guy that lives, eats, breathes, and has grown up bleeding the red and blue of your program. And that is Matt Luke. He is Ole Miss through and through. 3 generations of Luke men have played for the Rebels in Oxford. It's a dream job. All-out blitz. Just shy of the first down. DeMarcus Gates made the stop on Patrick Laird. It's 4th down and about a half-yard to go. And will Justin Wilcox go for it? It looks like he will.
This is where you have got to use your cadence and be willing to do that as well. Now, you've already burned the 1 timeout, so I don't think you're going to take the play of trying to get them to jump off sides and risk burning another.
They're going to go for it on 4th down and a half-yard just outside the 46-yard line. If they're only going to use the hard count, they would have to use their last timeout or just take a delay of game penalty before the punt. No, they will hand it off. And Vic and Wary busts free. 1 man to beat. All the way down to the 21-yard line on 4th down and a foot. C.J. Moore saved the touchdown.
We saw it earlier on the other side with Wilkins just in that situation, in a short yardage situation, and that time the awareness of Awareney did not close his eyes. I think a lot of times those running backs, they run into that darkness there. Think I could just get the first down. No, there are big plays to be had when everybody sells out and you can get to that second level.
Barely get the play off, and it's Wary. For a gain of 2 to the 25-yard line. Here's Shepard. Brought him down. And that will take us under 4.5 minutes to go. They're well inside field goal range, and a field goal here would force Ole Miss to score a touchdown to take the lead.
Pressure.
Fumbled snap. Bowers picks it up, heading in the wrong direction, and throws it away.
Nice catch.
Composure for the redshirt sophomore.
Is it just me, or does it feel like this entire game is just third down? I mean, we have had 35 third downs. 8 of 21 for Cal, just a tick better than the 4 of 14 of Ole Miss. It has really hit the skids in any rhythm and tempo. 35 third down conversion opportunities. This, number 36.
And they don't want to leave it again to Matt Anderson, who has missed 2 kicks from distance. 3rd down and 8. Here comes the blitz. Bowers on a slant inside the 10-yard line. The ball comes out. VC. Are they going to call that a reception? No, they will say incomplete. And that's a break for Jordan VC. Did he have possession? Did he make a football move? Or was this the right call? Incomplete pass. Boy, that is very close.
Very close.
So here is a field goal attempt to try and make it a 4-point game. Anderson lets it go, and this one is good. .344 to go. Ole Miss now down by 4. They'll have a chance, though, when we come back to Berkeley. A huge play a moment ago that wasn't reviewed. At least it certainly wasn't further reviewed and buzzed down by the replay booth. And it turned out to afford Cal an opportunity to kick the field goal to make it a 4-point game. And Brock, this is worth at least another look.
Yeah.
Would you have buzzed down if you were the replay booth to take a further look at whether or not this was a completed pass and a fumble?
Yeah, and I was just waiting for that to happen on the field. Now, is that overwhelming evidence and it's called on the field, and that is the most important thing, and it was called incomplete on the field? You and I went to the replay convention. The most difficult judgment they make is catch, no catch. I think in that case, it was called that way on the field, and as they looked at it quickly, they didn't see anything to change that.
1st and 10 for Ole Miss at their own 25-yard line. Wilkins on a cutback. He picks up about 3. Now, the one thing that this does do is it makes the situation for Ole Miss cut and dry. They do not need to rely now on a redshirt freshman kicker who has never kicked a field goal successfully in a game before. Now they know they have to score a touchdown. Shea Patterson looking at a 3-man rush. Over the middle, tipped ball, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
No, you know who they need to rely on? A true sophomore gunslinger who won 2 state championships in the state of Louisiana before he went to the IMG Academy down there in Florida, where Matt Luke and crew recruited him from, and was nothing but a champ. And champions love adversity, and this is your moment, Shea.
Intercepted. He threw it right to Cameron. Good. Touchdown. An 11-point lead for Cal with 3 minutes to go.
Well, it was your moment, and there's still 3 minutes to make up for it, but a 3rd critical interception, and it's been a similar theme tonight. It has been a defensive scheme that has overwhelmed this offensive line and Shea Patterson, and I love the encouragement there. There's your Chucky Mullins Award winner. There's your senior. There's a guy that's not going to get to a bowl game this year in Marquise Haynes. They're doing nothing but what you want out of a senior with a young player. Get your head up and make up for it.
And if I'm going to read what I think he just said, he pointed up to the scoreboard. And I think he pointed up to the fact that there's still 3 minutes on the clock. So shake it off. You're about to go back out there with 3 minutes to go. Now, yes, you need 2 scores, but we can score in a blink with this offense. I'm sure that is exactly what Marquise Haynes is telling the sophomore quarterback.
And read is what he did not do. And I wrote these words down from Phil Longo. If it's scream and take it. The only thing that was screaming there was the drop defender, Cameron Good, right into that area where schematically they want to take that first read away. It wasn't screaming, except for 6 the other way. And what a tremendous catch and run from Cameron Good to finish.
Cal trailed 16-7 at halftime. What a second half for the Bears. Jalen Jones from the goal line. Blockers out in front. Cut down at the 31. He scrambles forward for a gain of 2 and tackled in the field of play. That rolls the clock.
He's a little gimpy coming up on that lower leg. He has taken a beating tonight. This 4-man rush from every which way has been such a factor.
And that last hit from Chinedu Odogu. 2nd and 8. Low snap again. No one open downfield. Now he slings one to the sideline. Coming back to try and help out the quarterback was DeMarcus Lodge, but it's incomplete. He couldn't hold on. Now it's 3rd down and 8.
I'll tell you who else you're missing. Not just your center, Sean Rawlings, with lots of low snaps. It's tremendous effort. Just could not control the reception through the contact. You're missing A.J. Brown as well. Security blanket gone since the first series of the game.
Here comes a blitz on 3rd down. Patterson flushed out. He'll heave one down the sideline. It's a duck and it's incomplete, but the flag out. An underthrown ball sometimes will be a big challenge for defensive backs to avoid pass interference. And the Cal defensive backs on that play, it looks like Travion Beck on Markel Pack, fall
Pass
victim.
interference, defense number 22. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, and that is just a young DB there. A true sophomore that's on the field. Justin Wilcox is saying, geez, 3rd and 15, throwing up a duck, a prayer. And that's where your young defensive backs just have to have the patience and the resolve to not freak out. And continue to trust their technique.
Keeps the game alive, though, for Ole Miss. They've got it near midfield. Long throw for Patterson, this time short. Try to get it outside the numbers to DK Metcalf. 2:08 to go. With only 1 timeout remaining and 2:08 on the clock, or check that, 2 timeouts for Ole Miss. You wonder if they might try and get into field goal range first. You need 2 scores. One of them has to be a field goal. Patterson dumps it off. Nice move to stay inbounds at first for Van Jefferson. Picks up some yardage down to the 40-yard line. That is a 1st down with 2 minutes to go.
And you're so right. It is an eternity in college football. Unlike those games on Sunday where that clock is running and it is moving, you get 1st downs, you stop that clock. Ample opportunity with 2 timeouts.
Right between the hash marks. A gain of 7.5 to Van Jefferson.
And I think if you had a kicker you trusted rather than a freshman, you may employ that earlier philosophy you mentioned to get the first score, but I just don't think you can do that with a total unknown right now.
Patterson down the sideline for Lodge. Broken up. 3rd down and 2. 1:27 to go. The problem, though, Brock, is if you try so hard to score the touchdown and get obsessed with that on this possession, you still have to have time on the back end for an onside kick and another offensive possession to get into field goal range. So even though you have an inexperienced kicker, You have to leave yourself enough time for at least another chance to score. Now they pick up the first down underneath to Markel Pack, and that'll stop the clock for the moment.
And you got to go.
1:23 to go.
And these are the seconds right here. Watch this. That ball's going to get set, and you've got to go. You can't even waste 5 seconds in these situations. And that's now 8, 9. Got to go.
Here comes the blitz again. It's picked up down the sideline for Nixon. And it's broken up again. Cameron Bynum, the redshirt freshman, does it again.
Yeah, this kid's good. I asked Justin, what did he inherit? Came into this program. What did he inherit? A lot of really good, skilled wide receivers. And some young DBs they feel good about. That's excellent. Get into the body of the receiver, and then you time it. His eyes, his hands, your eyes, your hands. That's a redshirt freshman standing on his own one-on-one out there.
Patterson makes a man miss. He's got room, and he will get out of bounds at the 16-yard line. 1 minute to go. Would you think about kicking the field goal now?
I think about taking a couple shots into the end zone. And again, if I had my veteran kicker, all-conference kicker, it's a different story. I just got a freshman that is a total unknown to me, but this ball has got to get past the sticks.
They want the shovel pass, and they get it to Jordan Wilkins. Now they'll have to use a timeout. Down to the 14-yard line. And a timeout is called by Ole Miss from the sideline. 52 seconds to go. Over the middle, and that's dropped. Markel Pack, alligator arms. It'll be 3rd down and 8 with 48 seconds to go and only 1 timeout left for Ole Miss.
Pretty impressive.
They have owned the second half so far this season.
Pretty impressive, pretty heady stuff here. Pretty mature stuff from a team 3 games in to a new head coach.
Patterson looking for the back pylon. Incomplete. And now you have to kick the field goal. 4th down and 8. At least I would think. 43 seconds to go.
You have to kick the field goal.
And their offense is staying on the field, which makes little sense, I would think, in terms of still needing a field goal to be one of the 2 scores you need. And they're going to go for it on 4th and 8. How close do you need your kicker in order to try the field goal if it's not going to be something you're going to try from the 15-yard line? And it's all on Shea Patterson. Here comes the blitz. Patterson under pressure. And that will do it. Devontae Downs on the blitz. Gets the sack of Shea Patterson. And the Cal Bears are a kneel down away from a win over Ole Miss.
It's been the same story all night, man. It's been such fun football to study and to talk through and for Shea to learn from. I mean, just where's it going to come from? Here, 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 here. Where is this rush coming from? Where is the picture? And what showed me in any way that this middle linebacker, other than him just staring at me all night long, trying to confuse and harass, and he does, in an offensive line that was left swimming and scrambling just like the quarterback. The D coordinator 5 times over, some of the best in football. He's got a good staff around him. So I didn't come into this game on the way over here, Bob. I said, I'll tell you what, if Cal gets this one tonight, they win at North Carolina, a Weber State team, tough, gritty, had to overcome them. A win tonight against an SEC team in year number 1 for Justin Wilcox. Along with Coach Braum out at Purdue, I think he's turned some heads as far as level of accomplishment here in this month of September.
Well, Justin Wilcox called the defenses for Paul Chryst at Wisconsin, and he credited that experience, as you said, Brock, with preparing him to now take over this program. And his defense held Ole Miss scoreless over the final 9 possessions.
Brilliant.
27-16 Cal over Ole Miss. For Allison Williams and Brock Ewert, I'm Bob Wischusen. So long from Berkeley. Terrific win for the Cal Bears. Sports Center in 15 seconds.